The Silver Brothers, Austin, Double A, Terry Roberts, please report to the front stage. D2W Stu, your presence is required at the front stage. Unberger, I see you. Tony Turley, we see you lurking over there. Nolan Mendoza, Bender. If you want your name mentioned in this song, all you gotta do is drop a $14.99 super chat so Smitty can identify you and drop you in. Get your name in the intro song of every Tuesday, Thursday show.
It's a blue button.
Herbert's the gout, he'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the gout, he'll punch you in the throat.
Run it back, Ma.
Herbert's the gout, he'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the gout, he'll punch you in the throat.
Would all of the VIP super chatters please come to the front stage? You know who you are. Oh, you Kurt. Mark Cleveland. The Silver Brothers. Austin. Double A. Terry Roberts, please report to the front stage. D2W Stu, your presence is required at the front stage. Unberger, I see you. Tony Turley, we see you lurking over there. Nolan Mendoza, Bender. If you want your name mentioned in this song, all you gotta do is drop a $14.99 super chat so Smitty can identify you and drop you in. Get your name in the intro song of every Tuesday, Thursday show.
It's a blue button.
Herbert's the gout, he'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the gout, he'll punch you in the throat.
Run it back, Ma.
Herbert's the gout, he'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the gout, he'll punch you in the throat.
Would all of the VIP super chatters please come to the front stage?
Yo, everyone.
Mark Cleveland, the Silver Brothers.
Welcome to the show. And we've got a couple hot topics to talk about today on the Fantasy Football Show Live. I appreciate all of you being here. If you're new, punch the thumbs up button on your way in the door. Drop a live chat comment. We're talking Barkley. We're talking Swift. We're talking Callaway, Goddard, Waller. A couple more pieces of news. We'll be doing Fantasy Football Court, of course, later on. And let's punch the intro and get going.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Top 5 running back. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show. Smitty. Take a lap.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Smitty from the Fantasy Football Show, and you are here We are here. We are here talking fantasy football. August 10th, 2021. A little bit of news floating around there about Saquon Barkley, DeAndre Swift. Two players I've been kind of pumping as avoids for 2021, and nothing's really changing. And I want to kick things off with the Saquon Barkley talk, so I'm going to minimize the DeAndre Swift graphic, and we're gonna make this one a little bigger and discuss Saquon Barkley, because a lot of people out there are taking this report right here that the Giants activated running back Saquon Barkley ACL from the active PUP list. They're taking this as if this means he's back and he's a top 3 or 4 overall pick again. I'm seeing like analysts out there literally post this news right here. They're like, oh boy, we told you he's back. I told you. You got to activate it. Like, look, I'm rooting for Barkley. Let me start off by saying I never wish injury upon anybody. I never, ever want someone to get hurt or my injury prediction to come true. I don't wish injury upon anyone. But my job is to help guide you. My job is to help guide you. And if people are just going down a risky road, it's my job to make judgment calls and say, hey, we're doing a show. We're doing a show. Barkley is a huge risk right now. He still is, whether he's activated from the PUP or not. And a lot of people in here, and I know in here and also mostly outside, and my people are pretty reasonable. They understand what I'm saying. They understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. A lot of people don't. A lot of people take this as Barkley slander. A lot of people don't even listen to what I'm saying. The words coming out of my mouth. Barkley, could he be ready for week 1? He could. Could he be a top 5 running back in 2021? He could. Could Barkley get you back your top 5 overall draft value if you were to invest right now and buy him at number 5 or 6 overall? He could. There is a percentage chance for everything, okay? There's a percentage chance that DeAndre Swift, who we'll talk about next, could be a top 10 running back. There's definitely a percentage chance for that. There's a percentage chance for everything. And so, if you're going to take my Barkley caution as absolute, then that's your fault. Because I'm telling you right now, there is a shot. Barkley is a top 5 to 10 running back. Easy. There's easily a shot for it. How big is the shot? How great is the risk? Is the risk way more than the upside? That's what you got to ask yourself. And with Barkley, right now we know this. He's not ready. He's not ready. This report does not indicate he's ready. He has said, I'm not sure where I'm at. I'm worried about my future. I will play this thing slowly and unveil myself slowly to make sure that my future is not in jeopardy. People need to relax and understand what I'm telling you is that Barkley is more of a risk at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way down to 12 than he is a guy loaded with upside. At some point that could shift. At some point that could change. At some point Barkley will turn into a value grab. There is a line in the sand for everybody. For me, the line in the sand for Barkley is right about 12. Right about 11, 12, 13. And that might make some people chuckle. Might give you a good belly laugh, Uncle Bud. It might give a lot of you a good belly laugh. And that's fine. That's fine because, telling people to avoid Akers over and over and over gave a lot of belly laughs in January, February, March, April, May, June. And erring on the side of caution is always advisable when a player's coming back from an ACL tear, when a player's coming back from a deltoid injury. This smells very, very much like the Mike Thomas situation in that people are taking this news right here that they don't have any real detailed information on, and they're running with it as if this means things are exactly going in the right direction. What happened with Mike Thomas? What happened with Mike Thomas? I'm not comparing Mike Thomas, the player, to Barkley. I'm not comparing necessarily the injury to injury. I'm merely saying the reaction. I'm comparing the reaction of everybody to Mike Thomas had surgery to the issue of Mike Thomas is himself. Yeah, but Anton, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not comparing the two players. I'm comparing the reactions of everybody. I'm comparing everybody wanting Barkley to be his old self, and they want it now. They aren't looking into the information. No one looked into the Mike Thomas injury. When news broke that Mike Thomas had surgery, I cannot tell you the amount of DMs that I got immediately saying, Smitty, I told you you were wrong. I want you to move Mike Thomas up on your rankings. He had the surgery. You said if he didn't have the surgery, you'd be worried about him to the end of the earth. He had the surgery. Now go make the change. Go make it now, Smitty. Smitty, I demand that you make the change on your rankings this second, because news broke that I know nothing about. I don't even know the details of it, but they say Mike Thomas had surgery. Go change your rankings now. And what did I tell all of you? You need to know what the information is. You need details. What surgery did he have? What surgery did he have? And here's Noah. Here's exactly God. You don't listen. You don't listen. Bro, enough on MT situation. This is different. You are not listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth. I'm not comparing Mike Thomas to Barkley. I'm comparing you and your reaction to Mike Thomas and you and your reaction to Barkley. You're not listening. I'm not comparing Mike Thomas to Barkley at all. I'm comparing your reactions to both of them. That's what I'm comparing. And when you know nothing about Barkley's potential week 1 availability in either direction, let's be fair, Barkley could be ready for week 1. If a report came out today saying, I don't think Barkley will be ready for week 1, it's going to be alarming. It will definitely make people pump the brakes, and it should. But it's still, that report still isn't accurate in my mind. We are so far away from week 1, no one possibly knows unless there's a setback and he needs some kind of second surgery or something. Then we would know. But nobody knows. For him to be not as far along as he should be, he tore this thing early on last year. What was it, week 2? He should be ready. This should not be a question of, yeah, we'll see if I can, I want to see where I'm at. I don't know what my week 1 availability should be. This is so different. This is so different. As Alexander just said, this is my point. And I don't understand why no one's hearing me. I mean, a lot of you are. But there are people in here, like Noah, who continues to not listen to what the words coming out of my... I don't understand why he doesn't hear me. You can't compare the reactions of two different situations. You just aren't hearing me, Noah. Oh, I'm sorry. Noah's in the building. Welcome, Noah. When you're let's go to the board. Let's go to the board and make this simple. Let's break this down for the people in the back. Okay. When you're talking the way people are talking right now, Saquon Barkley, he's back. I've seen analysts report things as soon as this news report right here, as soon as this news report dropped yesterday, I saw analyst after analyst go, he's back in my top 2 to 3 to 4 overall. Get him back in there. This is where he belongs. Over and over and over. Off of this simple report that he's activated from the PUP list. Do you know what that means? That means that the man's going to start taking hits to see how his knee will react. Okay? He doesn't know what it's going to be like to take a hit. He needs to find that out. The good news is there shouldn't be any setback to the point where this guy needs like a second surgery yet that we know of, because they wouldn't put him in pads. So this is a good indication that there is nothing that's causing him as of this moment to potentially need to like go in under the knife again or something like. But why is it taking him so long to recover? That part I don't understand. This is one of the strongest running backs, athletic running backs in the NFL. So here's where the problem is. This is Zeke territory. This is Adams, Hill, and Diggs territory. All three of these guys could be the number one. They could fight to be the number one wide receiver in fantasy football. This guy right here could fight to be the number 2 to number 3 running back in fantasy football. These guys could all fight for number 1 overall. What am I asking you? What am I asking you right now? I'm asking you to draft a guy that could be number 1 overall at his position or number 2 overall at his position. Am I acting crazy because I'm telling you to draft Zeke Elliott, who could be the top 2 to 3 running back that's safer, that you can cuff to Tony Pollard? Is it insane to ask you to draft Pollard over Barkley? No. Is it insane to ask you to draft a guy in Adams who could finish as a top 6, 7 overall player, as a top number 1 wide receiver, or Hill or Diggs? All I'm telling you is, until you know more, this needs to be the target range for Barkley. If you reach anywhere above this value right here, the 12, 13 turn picks, you are passing on a much secure player that has a much more secure situation. You know what you're getting. Right now, you have no clue. I don't have a clue. You don't have a clue. The only evidence we have that this guy is going to be potentially ready for week 1 is that he was activated from the PUP list to see how he can handle and take hits. That is all you have. Like, okay, so I'm going to go to the chat right now, because I've been trying to focus on this while everybody screams and yells in the chat because they own Barkley is why you're upset. You're upset because you own Barkley. I get it. It sucks when you hear negative information about a player that you already own or you own in Dynasty. You want to root for him. So I'm going to go to the chat. Tell me why Barkley is safer than Hill, Diggs, and Adams when you have zero clue what's in store for Barkley in weeks 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me why Zeke Elliott isn't a locked and loaded selection over Barkley. Give me facts. Give me what you're thinking. Is it just your gut? Is it just your loyalty to Barkley? I want to know. Like, this topic I get hit left and right on. And I'm not backing down because it's unpopular. My job is to try and inform you. When I came to everyone and said, stay away from Akers, stay away from Mike Thomas. And yes, we mock drafted Mike Thomas, but whenever we did, we talked about how risky this guy was. You hadn't heard a word about his surgery. No one knew what was going on with Mike Thomas. It was all a disaster waiting to happen, writing on the wall. But what did people say? Smitty, you're going to be sorry. Mike Thomas is Mike Thomas. He's going to come back on a tear. Why? Why, Bill, from accounting? Why will Mike Thomas come back on a tear? Because he's slant boy. He's Mike Thomas. You'll see. Okay, what evidence do you have that Mike Thomas had surgery, is doing better? Have you heard anything? Are you completely blindly guessing? Well, Smitty, he's Mike Thomas. He's slant boy. He'll be fine. Have some faith, bro. Everybody's telling me to have faith that Barkley will be okay. It's Barkley. That's not good enough. Look, I'm one of the most bold, risky, put my balls on the line, bold predicting sons of bees you will ever see or meet in your entire life. Okay? I'm one of the people that will go out on a limb more than anybody that you've ever met. That does not mean that you just go on a whim and not err on the side of caution and draft Barkley number 3 or 4 overall, or 5 or 6, until you have evidence he's back. Why, Smitty, keep bringing up MT? Man, you don't listen. You don't listen, Noah. You just don't listen, bro, at all. Why do I keep bringing MT? MT's the best scenario I can paint for you as to what you're doing again, Noah. You believed in MT blindly because he was MT. Everything's going to be fine. You don't have any evidence at all. He's back to normal. What we know about Barkley, similar to MT, is we have nothing. When you have nothing from a major injury, like the deltoid in Mike Thomas's ankle, like a torn ACL, where Barkley doesn't know out of his own mouth if he'll be ready for week 1. Multiple reports saying he may not be available in weeks 1, 2, 3. Tell me how it's not an exact parallel, not the player, the reaction of somebody blindly wanting Barkley to be okay. You blindly, Noah, you blindly want Barkley to be okay. You have nothing to go on. You have 0 to go on. You don't know, I don't know. But my argument of being cautious, not to avoid him, no, not to avoid him, I'm telling you right here, I plotted it on a map for you, Noah, that Barkley deserves to go in the 12-13 turn. How disrespectful of Smitty to put him below 3 wide receivers that could be the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy football. How disrespectful of Smitty. Yes, sorry, I saw your super chat. We dropped that in. Sorry there. Nugget, tight Nugget, wants to know. Drafted Christian McCaffrey, DK, CEH, Cup, Godwin, Judy, Lamar. Solid team. I like it, bro. I would try and upgrade wide receiver. Go after Justin Jefferson. Go after, let's see. Yeah, buy low. Try and buy low on a wide receiver. Maybe trade. Let's see. That's a good team though, bro. You don't necessarily need to. You got CMC, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, DK, Godwin, Cooper Kupp. Yeah, I like it, man. I like it. That's a good team. You did good. Is that a 4-man league, Tight Nugget? Like, what's going on there? Metcalf is a beast, Bender. So are you. So are you. All right, back on point. Back on point. Where are we at? What is Smitty asking of you right now? What is Smitty asking of you? Error? Not always. Not always. When an injury is as significant as a career ending, like a deltoid, or multiple injuries, or something that's crazy, that player, let me tell you a piece of advice. This is some of the best advice I can give you from a guy that's so risk averse when it comes to draft and fantasy football, from a guy that loves taking chances. When you're dealing with an injury like an ACL, something that is completely altering to the point where you miss a whole season, or you could potentially miss multiple seasons, or your career could be changed or over. That player needs to prove to you that they're ready before you invest in them. And if you take it into your own mind to be like, I'm going to trust blindly that Barkley comes back, you're going to get burned more times than not. Will I be wrong and Barkley be ready for week 1? He could. What's going to happen if that happens? Will I lose a wink of sleep if Barkley's a top 5 running back in 2021? And all of you that are so mad right now are going to come at me and say, I told you. I won't lose a wink of sleep. I will not give him bad advice. I will have given amazingly sound advice to err on the side of caution and take the number one potential wide receiver in fantasy football, or Zeke Elliott over Barkley. That would have been my advice. The story you can tell, the picture you can paint about my advice is that he said take the number one wide receiver and wait. There is a let's go to the board and let's put it down. Let's just put an arbitrary. This is not science. This is not Jesse Pinkman coming in and dropping some science. But let's just say Barkley, hypothetically, had a 35% chance of starting week 1. Okay? That what I'm saying is, until this is in a range that feels like you're 80% certain, and some of you might feel 80% certain. I don't know why, but you do. Once you're at like an 80% range of being certain, then why not take him, in 3 to 5 overall? Of course. But if you honestly feel this way, I want to know why. I want to know why you feel this way about your first drafted player. I want to know what is making you feel confident when there is no science to back it up. There's nothing going on at all to prove that Barkley should be in this range for you. He should feel like this. And when a player feels very uncertain to be ready for week 1, you don't know, why on earth would you invest a top 5 overall pick in the player? I don't understand. And if you're going to talk about other injuries, like someone being banged up, and Jeff, if I'm wrong, please speak your mind. What am I wrong about? I will wait, Jeff, and I will put your comment on screen. Give me the evidence and argument for why I'm being so disrespectful to Barkley's value when all I'm telling you is to draft him at 12 to 13 overall. How am I that disrespectful and wrong to say Barkley belongs right here? How am I wrong, Jeff? Please come in and tell me. Put me straight. Let me know. Hit me with some knowledge. How am I wrong suggesting that guys above him should be Hill, Adams? And if you don't like Diggs, people in here, a couple people saying no Diggs, no, whatever. Zeke, tell me how I'm wrong that these guys should be above him. I'm waiting. I would love to know. Anton says you never know what the team is hiding from you. Exactly. No one knows anything about Barkley right now. Zeke breaking down too many carries, same as Henry, says Kenny. Now the solution, though, bro, is that Pollard is the best backup. You could say him and AJ Dillon, the best backup in the entire NFL, and he can be easily cuffed. And while I think there is concern about mileage with him, if he was standalone, if you did not have a backup like Pollard, I would be a little bit more worried too. So the fact that you can get Pollard, bro, Zeke and Pollard, lock. Top 5 running back lock. Just absolute lock. In this offense, the way they're going to score the football, the way they're going to move the football down the field, this is beast right here. Beast mode. So whether you disagree with Zeke or not, the duo to me is locked in. I would draft this over Barkley 11 times out of 10. I don't even know how that's debatable right now. Barkley is climbing like predicted into the top 4. He's my number 3 right now because I can cuff him to Pollard. Climbing into the top 4. And there's still people saying Saquon Barkley over Zeke and Pollard. No way. Not even close. Zeke or Adams 6 overall. Give me Zeke and then cuff Pollard. Jeff, did you respond? I'm looking for Jeff's comment. Jeff, I don't see it. You said I'm wrong. I'm looking, bro. Smitty, you're wrong. I don't see your evidence. I don't see what I'm wrong about. I'm waiting. Claudio says, Smitty, read my previous comment. I'm looking. Claudio, post it again, bro. All I see is a couple ones that say, read my previous comment. I hope Barkley's ADP can drop. I'll gladly take him after the second round. See, that's what I'm saying. This is where Barkley feels safe to me. Safer to me, right here. But do I still feel ultra great about it? No. But that package is in a lot of risk. Let's say he gets 10 carries minimum or something in week 1. Let's say he gets, he starts off really, really slow. This will help bake that in because he can still finish very, very strong. I'm not saying, if everyone wants to look at my face when I say this, I'm not saying Barkley can't return to a top 5 running back form and be elite for years and years to come. But when it comes to starting off your fantasy season and you can have an Adams in there who's going to be a top 6 overall player, a guy that is not banged up right now, a guy that doesn't have to prove he's healthy, and a guy you don't have to blindly trust is ready to go, how is that getting this reaction? I don't understand it. How is it getting such a reaction out of people to say go Adams over Barkley? I'm not telling you to avoid Barkley in general. I'm telling you to avoid him until you get past the elite top 3 wide receivers. That's all I'm saying. And yet everyone is just completely losing their mind on every platform known to man. I'm not gonna sugarcoat how I feel. And you guys know I respect every one of your opinions. Even kind of even Noah. And I don't see the argument. I don't see it. Why blindly trust him? Smitty, half PPR was offered Swift 2022 for 2022 first, 2024 first, $20 of fab money for Clyde. It depends where the firsts are, bro. I mean, I want Clyde. If those are late first rounders, I don't care about him. So Clyde. It's just not right if many people don't agree. Oh, there's the science. We cracked it. We cracked the case. I'm wrong because so many people disagree. Thank you, Noah. Noah cracked the case. Good God. I agree running backs are more important than Kelsey. Yeah, I'm not drafting Kelsey in the top 6. Not that it's a mistake. All right, Claudio, I see your comment here. Smitty, we are not arguing the top 3 receivers. Instead, I am arguing that he is fine. Pick at 1.8. Well, but I'm saying 12, bro. So, like, my range for liking him is at the bottom of your acceptable range. So, who have JT, Gibson, Eckler, who have clear risky. So Claudio, what am I saying though that's bothering you then? Like, I'm not saying you're bothered necessarily, but what am I saying that doesn't make sense when I say take him 12, 13 turn? Like, everyone's hearing something completely different because they get a reaction of he's saying bad things about Barkley. I love Barkley. I already own Barkley in a dynasty league. Don't talk bad about Barkley. Like, Claudio, tell me what I've said that doesn't jive with exactly what you're saying. And would I take Gibson over Barkley? Yeah, I would. Right now I would. I think Gibson is in for a top 5 running back season. So you can argue with me on that one. I'm fine being bold or crazy aggressive with my Antonio Gibson ranking. But you are literally, Claudio, saying 8 to 12. I'm saying 12, 13 turn. And you're saying you proved something. I don't know what you proved. Like, Claudio, I love you, man. I love you. But what are you talking about? What are you talking about, Claudio? Oh, man. Gibby over Saquon is a bit too far. We'll see. We'll see what happens at the end of the year, bro. We'll see. Smitty just offered Najee Harris for Gibby in a standard league. Should I do it? I'd rather have Gibson. Keep Gibson, bro. Keep Gibson. Smitty, pull up Gibson's stats. All the stats came from the Cowboys. He only had, bro. He's still gonna get so much better. I don't prescribe to looking at a player anytime. Looking at a player's stats and trying to pick and choose what ones you want to use. I don't think that's a good way to look at things. I never look at those things. I don't care about those things. I don't care if there's 2 games or 1 game where a guy had 4 touchdowns. Look, he got the touchdowns. He got the stats. I don't break it down like that. I think that if once you do that, you play a risky game of what do you add in, what do you take away, and then you start going in circles. So for me, I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is what Gibson showed me, what my eye test says, and this dude's top 5 running back bound. If there's a guy that's going to be Alvin Kamara, has a defense behind him to support the run, has a freaking, a solid offense that's going to keep the football moving down the field, Gibson. Did Smitty really just say he'd take Gibson over Barkley? Yes. I would rather have Gibson over Barkley. Would I be crafty about it? Like, understand what I'm saying? Yes. Okay? So, let's break this down. Do I want Gibson over Barkley? I do. Would I draft him over him? I don't need to. What I do, my whole point here, Donnie, what I've been saying for, good God, 37 minutes now, and I feel like no one's hearing me. Or at least the loud people are making it feel that way. Here is what you do. Round 1, round 2. When I say Gibson over Barkley, I'm saying Gibson here, pass on Barkley here, take Adams instead of Barkley, and take Gibby here. So when I say I'd rather have Gibby over Barkley, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about drafting Gibby here. This is where everybody's drafting Barkley. Actually, this is where everybody's drafting Barkley. From like 4 down to 8. So from 4 down to 8, when someone's taking Barkley, I'll take Adams. And then instead of taking Barkley, I would rather have Gibson. That's what I'm saying. So Anton says number 6 spot is doomed. It is if you go Barkley. Or it potentially could be. Maybe he works out. But why not, Anton, take Adams here instead of Barkley and get Gibson over Barkley as your second drafted player? What about this year's CEH? What about him? Okay. Let's move on. What's up, crazy world? Let's move on to the next topic. There's some people in here that have loud voices. I respect them. But we're going to go in a circle over and over and over on Saquon Barkley being a huge risk to me in round 1. Bro, Donnie says, why not just take Barkley in the second then? Because he's not falling to the second. That's my whole point. Donnie! Son of a... My soundboard's not working, or you'd be taking a lap right now. Where's my take a lap?
Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap.
Donnie, I just spent 40 minutes straight explaining that. The reason we're having this conversation, Donnie, you're my boy, Blue, but good Lord, Donnie. The whole reason we're having this conversation is because everyone and their mother is back to drafting him right here, Barkley. And Donnie, what I'm telling you, don't take Barkley right here. take Adams or Diggs right here. And then take Gibby right here. That's what I'm saying. You can't take Barkley here. Barkley's not falling there. Barkley's not falling past the top 8 right now. And on top of the bold prediction, of Gibby being top 5, what are you paying for Gibby as a top 5? You're paying second round value. You're baking in the risk.
It didn't record.
Okay, now we're moving on to another topic that has caused so much grief on the show. DeAndre Swift. Avoid DeAndre Swift. Why? Oh my God, DeAndre Swift's the best ever. He's already hurt. He's missed significant practice time nursing a sore groin. More evidence that this man is a big avoid in 2021. But yet, I've heard so much negativity around this prediction too, as much as the Barkley one. So have at it. Anybody else feel like this is still a crazy call? DeAndre Swift avoid entirely in round 3. I'm not touching him in round 3. In fact, I won't draft him in 4. There are too many players I like way better than DeAndre Swift than 4. In round 4. Too many players I like more than DeAndre Swift in round 4. Let alone round 3. His ADP's in round 3. So, let's have it. Can't argue for Swift. His situation is atrocious. But I've been saying this forever, and everybody's been at my throat more than the Barkley stuff. So let's talk about it. Now what? Now what? Who loves Swift still? Make your argument. I mean, it's like, I'm not saying I'm gonna get cookies or buttercups or a tray of muffins when I land something or whatever, but now everyone's really worried about Swift, and I got more crap for this one than the Barkley one. So I'm just curious if anybody wants to stand up and defend this man. Matthew says no Detroit players whatsoever. Claudio, yeah, well, now nobody likes Swift, Claudio. Now nobody. What? This is the most hated on call I've had pretty much all offseason, and now everyone's like, okay, like I get it. Oh my God. I'm not sold on Swift. I agree. Clearly. Okay, so no one's here. No one's here to argue this one. Noah will. Noah will argue this one. Okay, here's no. Noah, this is the exact opposite of what the coaches have said. North Star, baby. Or South Star. Lions coaches said Swift is going to be a workhorse this year. Huh. Let's see. Let's pull it up, Noah. Huh. Interesting, Noah. I believe this is in May. Lions OC, Anthony Lynn, referred to running back Jamal Williams as the classic A-back. And then he referred after that to Swift being his classic B-back. Then, I believe this was in July or June, Anthony Lynn said he's going to ride the hot hand at running back on game day. Then, I believe, I don't know if this was this month or yesterday or whatever, this one comes after it. Lions coach Dan Campbell referred to DeAndre Swift as Jamal Williams as a 1-2 punch. So not only are these two in a entrenched running back by committee being confirmed by every party involved, not just one, every party involved confirming this. Those are consecutive months, Noah. That's why I brought it up. He's in a committee. He's entrenched in a committee. In a committee that won't move the football down the field on a team that people project to be a second or 2 or 3 win team in the Lions. On a team that dismantled their quarterback position dismantled their offense, let Kenny Golladay go. Okay, Kenny Galladay's gone. We trade Stafford, get Goff. No rapport with anybody. History of not having a good running back since Barry Sanders, maybe 1 year of Reggie Bush. Literally a cursed situation. People liked Kerryon Johnson more than they liked DeAndre Swift. I'm here to tell you. I am your history book when it comes to fantasy football, and I will tell you I'll turn the page, go back to DeAndre Swift. The feeling people had about Kerryon Johnson was 10 times stronger than the feeling they have about DeAndre Swift. People have very short memories. Kerryon Johnson was a first round projected player by a lot of people, and that guy fell flat on his face. Partly because he wasn't the real deal, I can tell you that, but also because the Lions, they self-destruct. It's a culture. Sometimes you can say, hey, you can't really just use historical data to paint a picture and say running backs can't evolve, in a certain environment. And then other times you can. Other times you can understand it's a culture. And it is a culture when they dismantle their entire offense. They give you Goff. They won't move the football down the field. They will game script the running back out because they will be down in the third and the fourth quarter throwing the football. Oh, but Smitty, Swift can catch the football. Okay, so you're relying on a running back that's not going to be able to move the chains. They're going to be 3 and out in the first and second quarters, and the third and fourth quarters down by a lot, throwing the football. In a committee, this guy is going to catch catchable footballs from a guy named Goff when they're not moving the chains or getting near the red zone. Red zone opportunities down. Swift is in a void. Don't go near Swift anywhere near third round value, and there are just plain safer players to grab in even round 4 than Swift. Someone tell me why Dobbins will not be a bust. I want to hear it. Okay, Aaron, here we go. J.K. Dobbins was one of the most efficient running backs in the NFL last year. He averaged over 6 yards per carry. He was a rookie, bro. Okay, so you can't sit there and say what he got last year translated over to this year. You can't. Not to mention, a lot of young running backs didn't know pass protection because last year there was no offseason, man. There's no way to really teach these guys how to properly pass protect. So a lot of the younger running backs were removed from game scripts that involved pass protection heavy, situations. So J.K. Dobbins is going to be utilized more. J.K. Dobbins is electric. That offense runs enough. I know Gus the Bus worries a lot of people, but when you run an average over 6 yards per carry and you're getting drafted in often the third round where you're protected into potentially being mediocre at times, at third round value, J.K. Dobbins is protected into being potentially misused and still earning his value. That's great. If we're talking about J.K. going at 12, we would have a heavy load. If this is a scale, let me go to the board. If we're talking about J.K. Dobbins at 12 overall, the risk side would be heavier or at least equal to the upside. Okay, that's if you're drafting him at like 12 overall. But when you're drafting this man as a third drafted player value, here is the upside. And here's the risk. And so whenever you draft a player, you want this upside much heavier than the risk. And in the case of a third drafted player, that's what J.K. Dobbins holds, is way more appeal and upside. And he's packaging in the risk. The risk is very, 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 very much baked in.
Baked in, boys.
No way he runs for 6 yards a carry again. That's debatable. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he had 5.4, 5.6. Give him more carries. That number probably will go down. He'll probably be in the 5s. You know what I mean? He'll probably be in the 5s. But Aaron, make no mistake, man. There is risk involved in a lot of running backs that have not proven they are the guy yet. Like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you have pros and cons. With Clyde Edwards-Helaire, if CEH as a first rounder CEH as a second rounder, the upside, he would be a no-go for most anybody, including me, if he was being required to be taken in the first round, even though he does hold first round potential value. Like, he's a top 5 to 10 running back, but the risk is too heavy if you're taking him at like 8. And this is why we got burned last year. Is there's some unknowns. There's some Andy Reid potential problems where he wants to go, pass heavy, whatever. I believe those will be solved. You got a revamped O-line. You got pass protection that he developed. You have a year under his belt, so he's now like a veteran in that system. He's learning. Casey's a very complicated system, so he has the system down, down now, a system that nobody can come in. Damian Williams, I think, said at one time when Damian was doing well, but kind of used spotty, and Damian Williams was never really fully believed in. He said this offense is so complicated. He didn't even know, by a full year in it, he still didn't even know half of the plays, and they'd literally have to tell him where to go. He'd be like, where do I go on this play? And they'd have to literally say, you're going to do this or whatever, because it's so complicated for him to learn. Very complicated system. And so for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's a steal at anywhere near end of the second, top of the third drafted player. You are building in so much risk. It's not even explainable. It's immeasurable. Talk about how you feel about Antonio Gibson. I already did. People for whatever reason want to doubt Gibson in 2021, and I get it. The guy didn't have a big track record coming out in college, so if you look at Antonio Gibson, the one thing that I would have said, let me pull up his college game log. He literally was barely used in college, which is usually a red flag. In college, the man pulled in. He had 38 receptions in 2019, which, isn't horrible. That's in college football standards, Gibson, he had 38 receptions in 2019. He had 6 in 2018. So 44 total receptions in college. Not a very big track record at all. Rushing attempts, you're gonna think this is insane. So this is receptions. Rushing attempts, check this out. Gibson ran the ball 0 times in 2018. This is 2018. 2019. He ran the ball 33 times in 2019. Gibson literally ran the ball 33 times in college. 33 times in college. If there's any risk at all, and this is the only risk there is, there's one red flag with Gibson, is that will he hold up? He hasn't been tested. He hasn't been tested to be a workhorse for a long period of time. Will he hold up? But you also have a new advantage added to the same situation. This adds at the same time, give and a take, dude has no mileage. No mileage. And the part that would have concerned me with Gibson is that the Washington football team doesn't know what they have and they don't know how to use him. But they used him plenty. And so Gibson, I have no concerns about volume. because I know the football team knows what they're doing with him. They identified this guy as a major sleeper. They knew to use him right away. They fed him perfectly for a guy his rookie year. Swift is a better pick. Woo! Walk. You get a bell ring for that, bro. You get a bell ring for that one, bro. Gibby, there is risk. I honestly break down stuff. I'm not a biased fantasy analyst, which is what I think some people take some of my hardline bold predictions as this guy, digs his heels in. I am the last person in the world that's going to dig their heels in on you. And that's why I liked Barkley in January, February, March. Admittedly, I liked him at 4, 5, 6. As soon as I started feeling uneasy about Barkley, I came to you. And I said, guys, we need to move him down. We cannot be taking Barkley anywhere near 3, 4, 5. Then pessimistic news broke. He fell. I was not as high on Zeke Elliott in January, February, March as I am right now. I came to you. I said, guys, why is Elliott going at number 8? We need to change that. We started mocking him higher. We didn't move the mock drafts. I'm not saying we moved everything or we moved waters and part C's in terms of mock drafts. Sometimes we do move them. Let's be honest. We've had raise of hands. No, actually, percentage. Drop a percentage. How much of a percentage have we moved CeeDee Lamb's ADP? I want everybody to be honest in here. How much influence? Give a percentage. Like we are responsible for 15% of his ADP moving up in the fantasy football space. I know this sounds arrogant from us, but we mock draft a ton. And not only do we mock draft a ton, we then take what we did and we all individually mock draft again and again and again outside of the show and influence the ADP. It sounds arrogant, but we have had something to do with CeeDee Lamb's rise in ADP. You better be darn certain of that. Because no channel has mock drafted or talked about or given CeeDee Lamb the respect he deserves. Look at these percentages. 60%, 35%, 92%. Malachi says 20. John says 20. Crazy World says 10. Look at these bold takes here. Todd says 45%. We move. We part C's when it comes to ADPs. Let's be honest. Sony says that's not a good thing. True. I can't help it. We all are excited, bro. Mark Cleveland says 7 to 8 spots. They're going to be, you guys, first of all, I want to thank you all for being in here. And I want to, first of all, say I respect every one of your opinions. Every one of them. Even kind of Noah. But there will be a couple uncomfortable calls, and I could be wrong on them. My two main uncomfortable calls will be Derrick Henry avoid and Barkley avoid at a point. But for the most part, we're gonna be eye to eye on a lot of this stuff, and you know that. That's why you follow the show. That's why you're here. Guys, Sweeney will never tell it wrong. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate you. Noah said 10%. That's positive. How do you feel about Austin Eckler, top 5 potential? Is the hype real? I buy him at the top of round 2, or I don't buy him. That's not disrespect. I love Eckler. I worry a little bit about him staying healthy, at the volume that they're going to give him. The dude was at his best when he was a secondary running back and basically a wide receiver for Rivers. Basically a guy that could pull in 100 receptions. That's when Eckler was at his absolute best. I don't like the version of Eckler that runs as much as he's catching the football. I feel like he's been tested and proven when the balance has been more in favor of the receptions. Like, give him 60-65% receiving production and the rest running. Like, that's the Eckler I want. I want like 35%, maybe 40 at most of him running the football. That keeps Eckler healthy to me. And as much as I think he's talented on all fronts, he can do good running. I'm not saying he can't be a good runner. But damn, man, I love Eckler pulling in passes more than anything. Where would you draft Sammy Watkins with the Bateman injury? I don't know that I'm big on Sammy Watkins, man. I feel like, you know, he might be a guy I put on my bench as a 5th or 6th wide receiver, but by no means do I feel wide receiver 3 numbers coming from a guy in an offense led by Lamar, who picks and chooses who he's going to give the football to. I don't know that there's really an opportunity right now until Lamar shows me different, until Lamar proves it to me that he can make any wide receiver, especially a journeyman, come over like Watkins and just become a reliable guy. Like, you start Watkins 1 week, you get nothing. You put him on your bench, you might have 80 yards and a touchdown. Like, that's what you're going to get out of Watkins. Anyway. Kamara scares me. I hope someone drafts him ahead of me so I don't push that button, says Sony. Well, I like Kamara, bro. I will say, in defensive Kamara, in defensive taking Kamara, you have 4 straight years, bro, where Kamara has proven everyone wrong. 81 receptions in his first year, 81 receptions in his second year, 81 receptions in his third year, and then what does he do last year in a year where everyone and their mother's worried about him? 83 receptions. Broski. So, I don't know. He's done nothing but prove people wrong. All right, let's get to the other pieces of news, and then we'll get into fantasy football court. This guy's got sleeper potential. Marquez Callaway. Somebody's going to pull in footballs in New Orleans, and it looks like, you know, this guy's getting a lot of momentum, a lot of people talking him up, a lot of reason to think that this guy could be potentially the guy to own in this offense. And, you know, we might see Callaway become wide receiver 3 relevant. So make sure he's not available in your leagues. Make sure you grab this guy if he's there, and let's hope for the best. But definitely some upside here. A lot of his teammates talk him up, and that's always a good thing when you hear people talk about a guy like that. But don't expect a ton. Just know that he's a good sleeper. Goddard, like Goddard, man. If you want, I've gone over this before. If you want a list of tight ends, and I do know this position well, I would probably say the next Hawkinson. So let's go next Hawkinson. Smitty. So I had, your boy Smitty had this guy higher ranked than anyone in the entire industry. And that is documented. That is documented by Fantasy Pros. I had him higher than any single analyst in the entire industry in the draft rankings for 2020. So, who is my number 1 potential next Hawkinson? If I had to go in order of value, I'd probably say Fant. Fant would be the guy. But if I'm going to go in order of value, I would say Higbee. Higbee's got the best potential to become the next Hawkinson, given the value that you can get the guy at. Fant, you got to pay a little bit, but he's still falling in some situations to like round 7 or 8. So I still love Fant, you know, as a value, but he's also a little bit higher price guy. I think, you know, Goddard has to be in this top, given the price tag. As soon as they trade away Ertz, though, to Buffalo or wherever, you're going to see his value skyrocket. So as of right now, Goddard falls in this category. So as soon as that trade happens, you know how fickle people are. The same people that now have nothing to say about DeAndre Swift being a bust. People jump off, on and off, on and off. And you know how people are going to react to Ertz leaving. Not the biggest factor either. Like, Ertz isn't going to hold Goddard back all that much. But as soon as Ertz gets traded, he's going to the moon. Because people will be thinking about him. He's the only guy there. He's the only man there. Time to draft Goddard very high. So, Goddard. Now, these guys. Logan Thomas and Tunyon are not like small name guys. But Tunyon goes in like 10 to 14 round territory. Thomas goes in 9 to 11. So whether they're known commodities or not, these guys are potential for the value, top dog potential Hawkinson breakout candidates. Doesn't matter if they've done it already. People are not giving them the respect they deserve. Therefore, if a tree falls and no one hears it, did the tree really fall? Did Thomas really drop top 3 tight end numbers last year? Because Logan Thomas was the number 3 tight end in all formats of fantasy football last year. But did it happen? It didn't happen. Logan Thomas did not. He was a tree in a forest. No one heard it fall. Therefore, Logan Thomas didn't drop top 3 numbers last year. Because look at his ADP. It's like everybody erased that data from their mind. And Robert Tunyon pulled in 11 TDs last year. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. Well, he won't do it again. Okay, so that didn't happen either. So Logan Thomas and Robert Tunyon will continue to be probably the two best values given their proven commodities. This guy finished 3rd. This guy finished 4th in 2020 tight end scoring. No one's giving him the respect they deserve. At all. These are your next TJ Hawkinson type guys. Let me just make sure I'm not missing one of my favorite later tight end grabs. Hold on, let me pull this up. Let's make sure Smitty's not missing a name. I very well could be, and I'm gonna kick myself later and be like, "You forgot your 3rd favorite guy, Smitty." Looking at the tight end rankings, I suppose, Irv Smith's a guy a lot of people talk about. Gerald Everett is okay. I don't believe those guys have Hawkinson type potential, which is why I'm not listing them. But, is Irv Smith potential? Is Troutman? Everybody loves Troutman. I get it. Someone's going to ask a Tim Tebow question. Who the hell knows what goes on there? No, I'm not going to put my name on that. Yeah, I don't think I'm missing anybody. This looks like it. This is it. So Goddard needs to be grabbed. Very, very good value. Yoda wants to know, Smitty, do you like Tunyon better than Logan Thomas this year? I think he might take over because of Rodgers. I like them both, bro. It just depends on where you can get them, Yoda. I mean, I really, really like both. I really, really like both. Jonnu Smith with Hunter Henry injured. Yeah, I mean, both of them get hurt a lot, though. Gesicki, no. I don't understand. I don't understand the Gesicki value. Like, the guys had time to prove it, and on top of that, like Tua, and worried enough about Waddle catching enough footballs. No way on Gesicki. Could he be good for a game or two, then completely vanish? Absolutely. Alexa, show me the backyard. We got movement in the backyard, people. probably a squirrel. Oh, it's a yard guy. So I'm trying to redo my backyard, and I'm putting brick down. I've got the basketball hoop back there. We're gonna make that a nice little live stream spot, and it's gonna be dope once I finish it. But okay, Father Smitty. I got offered Dalvin Cook for Swift, Henry, and Chase in a PPR. Do I accept it? You got offered Dalvin Cook for Swift, Henry. Are you talking about Derrick Henry or Hunter Henry? Get back to us. Get back to us, bro, because I don't know what you're asking there. That can't be Derrick Henry. CMC, Gordon, and Cousins for Mahomes and Lamb. CMC, Gordon, Melvin Gordon, that's a non-factor. Cousins, kind of a non-factor. Christian McCaffrey for Mahomes and Lamb. Give me Mahomes and Lamb if Cousins is your starter. That is a dope upgrade at quarterback. That is a massively productive wide receiver for years and years to come. I like that a lot if that's the case. McCaffrey's got maybe 2 years left. Some would say 1. So, it also depends on what your goals are. If your goals are to rebuild it all, or if you're ready to win the championship and retire tomorrow, then obviously McCaffrey's going to, do a lot for you. But I like the Mahomes Lamb side. You bet, Legion. Is Troutman... Alexa off. You guys see my yard guy right here? Doing good work. And when you guys hear me say, Alexa, show me the front door. Or no, Alexa off. Alexa, show me the backyard. Okay. This is where you guys are wondering where I'm seeing it. It's right here. There he is. That's my yard guy back there. Doing good work. Doing good work. Alexa off. Smitty, what is the code for underdog? Code is Smitty. But Ronaldo, go to smitty1.com and click on this banner right here. This will pop up right away. Anybody wants to do this, you can get a free phone call from me right now. This is a limited time. The free phone call and the $25 bonus cash will go away. Go to smitty1.com, which is right here. Smitty1.com. This banner right here will pop up. Minimum deposit of $10. Then show me proof. Just DM me or email me the proof. I will call you up. You can tell me when you want me to call you, and you'll get a $10 or a $25 bonus cash for a minimum deposit of $10. So go to smitty1.com. If you venture there for whatever reason, you're not listening, and you don't go to smitty1.com and click on the banner, enter promo code Smitty when you get there. Hit the like button, says Ronaldo. Attaboy. Aaron says, I don't know if you saw my message while you were on the scooter the other night, but I really appreciate you. You totally changed how I draft. I don't draft a specific position anymore. I draft best player. Thanks. You're welcome, Aaron. And I don't always, I think, push everyone's buttons the right way. Some people get set on like a player that I'm against or something. And, I appreciate some of these comments sometimes, Aaron, because I am here for you. I am here for you guys. And I couldn't do what I do without you. Without you, I am not here. There is no show. You guys are the show. So the respect goes to you guys, not to me. And I appreciate you, Aaron. Hey, Smitty, you missed my super chat. Well, I need to take a lap for that one.
Take a lap. Take a lap.
Take a lap for me, bro. Hold on. I'll find it for you, broski. I apologize. If I ever miss a super chat, it's not because I saw it and ignored it. It's because the chat will go by and the message will be above the amount of messages that load in sometimes really fast. So I really, really apologize for that, broski. I'm looking for your super chat. I don't see it. There it is. Holy crap. That was way up there, bro. You've waited so patiently. Space Alien Smitty from the future told me Clyde Edwards-Helaire will be the 1.1. Here's why he's going in the late second? Is there a reason why he's going in the late second? Johns, I think I have that clip here. Let's find it. Clyde. I'm going to try and find that clip, bro. I can't find it. CEH maybe? CEH. I can't find it. There's a clip of where future Smitty comes in and says, CEH will be the number 1 pick in 2021. I think he meant 2022. We're a little bit late on that one, Johns. But I firmly believe Clyde will drop fire in 2021. I think there's a couple things about Clyde. Let's go to the board. There's a couple things about Clyde that just make me feel like this is a home run this year. And granted, we didn't hit last year. We didn't hit it last year. I understand. I need to take a lap for being a year early, bro.
Take a lap.
But Clyde last year, pass protection, he couldn't do it. Offensive line, they had no offensive line. Game scripted out because he didn't know pass protection. So game script. Game scripts are out. He was sharing carries here and there, but only because it all comes back to this pass protection. So these are 3 very, very, very big things, bro. Like, this could be the difference between a guy being what Clyde was, which was still very, very good for a rookie, and being a top 5 running back. So the fact that they've fixed the pass protection issue, because now Clyde knows it. Clyde has had a whole offseason, a proper offseason to learn pass protection. The offensive line has been retooled and revamped. That is fixed. This has more of an impact than people think, because there's a reason the game scripts are tied to this, is they couldn't block well enough to run the football, and Mahomes is running for his life. So a lot of times when you have an injured offensive line, or you have a bad offensive line, your game scripts are all out of whack. Everybody thinks that KC just wants to pass, but really, Reed is a very balanced type of approach usually, and Reed wants, I believe, to get Clyde involved way more than he did last year in terms of running the football. And when they decide to game script for the pass, guess what? This man right here, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, is going to be built into the pass attack this year, unlike last year. So there aren't a lot of red flags for Clyde, in my opinion, because he will now be in the range of 50 plus receptions in 2020. He will have 10 plus TDs, I think, in 2020. He will have 1,100, especially with the extra game, 1,100 rushing yards. This could equate to, 400 or so plus receiving yards. You're talking about a 1,500 plus season with 50 receptions and 10 total TDs. And that 10 TDs is a very conservative 10 TDs. That is a very, very good running back season. And even if you dialed this back, whatever, even if you dialed the total yards back to 1,400, you say you got 300 receiving and 1,100 rushing, like, this is still a very good season. He has the potential. I don't want to write it down because then everyone's going to take it as my exact numbers, but 10 TDs, this could be 11 to 14 in terms of, like, he has the upside for that. I would expect 10, but 11 to 14 is possible. Clyde is very, very, very much in the driver's seat There's not a lot of red flags. This offense, they let Damian Williams go. That was the big knock people had right away was, oh, well, now Damian Williams is going to take back over now that he opted out in 2020 because of the pandemic, but he's back, and then they release him. Andy Reid loves Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Nothing has changed. And people saying Clyde won't get goal line work. Clyde failed at the goal line. Clyde will be used at the goal line. They couldn't run the goal line packages they need to for Clyde. He requires a specific kind of goal line work. And they need to run certain packages they couldn't do with a broken offensive line without him being able to pass protect, without knowing an entire offense. It's a very complicated scheme. Okay. Let's send this link over to Rob if Rob is around. Actually, we're running out of time. We're going to do court. Clyde for the win. How high do you draft Clyde? That's a great question, bro. You know I haven't eaten yet. I have not eaten a single thing yet. I haven't had any soda. I haven't eaten a single thing. I'm merely a man doing a live stream on an empty stomach. Maybe I'm a little hangry today as well. Okay? I think I have reason to be a little hangry. I have not eaten a single thing. My stomach is completely empty. This is the only thing. What you see me drink on this live stream is the only thing that's gone in my body today whatsoever. And it's got sugar. I probably shouldn't have did that because I'm kind of doing this whole like intermittent fasting thing. But I'm gonna tear a dinner up. I'm gonna have a salad with corn sprinkled on, a lot of ranch dressing, cheese. I don't watch what I eat. I'm watching how much I'm eating. And then I'm probably gonna have, I know there's a Costco, one of those Costco turkey sandwiches where it's got the croissant and turkey, and the croissant and turkey, they're like, side by side sandwiches, and it's got the salad. Like I'm gonna tear that up in just a little bit. I'm excited. Where was I at? Treat yourself. Treat yourself. Chinese food's fantastic. KC O-line got better. KC's O-line's going to be great. KC's going to be tough to stop. All right, let's get to fantasy football court. You know what time it is. I think I got it to all these news. Oh, the last piece of news here. Darren Waller. I don't know what's going on specifically with him in sum total, but we need to watch this situation. He has missed 8 straight days of training camp. 8 straight days of training camp. So we got to monitor this. This is more of a reason why I like the Higbee, Tunyon, Logan Thomas, Goddard, Fant approach. Like I land those tight ends very, very accurately year after year, and I'm telling you, there's some value hidden in there that can get you more back instead of drafting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of drafting Waller here, because some people do, or Waller here, you give me a doubted Justin Jefferson right now. So give me a doubted Justin Jefferson. Everyone's worried about the injury. He's going to fall for a very short period of time into the top of the round 3. Take advantage of it every moment you can. Get that, and then later on get a Fant. So you're going to have Fant and Jefferson versus Waller and who? Who are you getting where Fant is being drafted? Are you missing out on let me just throw a wide receiver out there that you're probably going to, a Lockett? I'm not saying I hate Lockett, but give me Jefferson and Fant all day long. So just compare the apples to apples when you're looking at that kind of stuff, and don't get tricked into you have to go with the position that's just, advantageous. Go after the rising talent in that positional advantage environment. Like, instead of looking at it like you can't be the guy that gets the next Waller or Hawkinson. I've been hitting on these. I'm number 1 in the fantasy industry according to Fantasy Pros on hitting tight end rankings year after year. So follow me, Higbee, Logan Thomas, Tunyon, Goddard, Fant. We're going to find the next Hockness monster in that group. It might be the Noah Fant monster. It might be the Goddard monster. It might be the Higbee monster. But we're going to find the Higbee monster or the Goddard monster or whoever. What's up, media? Appreciate media. Go follow him on IG at 49er Media. It's my boy. And if you aren't following me on Instagram, you are doing me a disservice because I'm almost at 10K. In fact, the rest of the show during court, I'm going to yell out all of the screen names, all of the usernames as they come in. Peace of mind. Appreciate the follow. Every single follow I get right now on Instagram at the Fantasy Football Show, I'm going to shout out. All right. Time for Fantasy Football Court.
It's time for fantasy football. Court.
Welcome to Fantasy Football Court. I am your man Smitty, presiding. And we are going to have at it in my courtroom. Bring it short, bring it sweet, bring it on point. Give me enough information without giving me too much information. All right, here we go. Hey, Smitty. And please, if you would, put Hey Smitty at the beginning of every single question you drop. That way I know it's not for the chat and I pull in a comment somebody has on Bill from accounting's team. Oh, Bill, I think it's a great trade, Bill. And then I waste the court's time. I will only be pulling over questions that say court or Hey Smitty so that I know. Like this one, for example, this will suffice. Court, what wide receiver? So I got that one next in queue. Here we go, court in session. Okay, hey Smitty, 10th pick in a 10 team. Who do I pick at number 10? Well, we went over it earlier, Wonk, and if Elliott is there, you'd take an Elliott, but he's not. He's climbing to, 3, 4 right now. He was there. That's why you draft early. Smitty, what do you mean draft early? Wait, Smitty, draft early? No way, Mike Thomas? Akers? Not predictable, Smitty. Not predictable, Smitty. Draft early, because now you could have had Elliott at pick 10 in January, February, March. People freaking out about Elliott. Who do you pick now? Give me the wide receiver. I don't want Nick Chubb there. I don't want a running back that I worry about there. I want a guy that is a bona fide number 1 potential overall wide receiver, and there are 3 or 4 of them that you could get right there. Give me Adams. Give me Hill. Give me Diggs at 10. And then take Gibby or Harris, or even if you wanted to reach for Clyde Boy Edwards-Helaire, Wonk, I wouldn't get mad at you. You could take Eckler in the 2nd round. Good question, Wonk. All right, Cat Fan says, Court, what wide receiver ends up with the best season? Keenan Allen, Robert Woods, or DJ Moore? Keenan Allen by a lot, because the man is going to be spoon-fed, force-fed receptions by a man named Herbert, who's going to be a potential top 3 to 4 overall quarterback, dropping with the extra game, easily something in the range of 40 touchdown passes in 2021. Love myself some Herbie. I love the Herbie and Keenan Allen stack. It's a poor man's version of Josh Allen and Diggs, but it is a good one. Hey Smitty, your projections for DJ Moore. 1,106. I mean, with the extra game, that ain't bad. Your Honor. I like that. I respond to that. I respond to that kind of question. In fact, the amount of respect that Todd just showed me, he gets his question answered first, even though he just posted it after all of you. This is the kind of respect the court deems worthy. I like to to file a restraining order against Noah's negativity. Granted. Noah, your negativity cannot come within 4 messages of Todd's. If I find that Todd makes a statement and you respond within 4 messages, you are violating the restraining order and you were too close to Todd's message. You can only be within, we'll make it 4. You have to be the 5th message or later. Don't do it, Noah. Don't do it. Don't push or test the court. 4 messages of separation between Todd and you. Granted. In fact, I might apply that same reasoning with my messages. Whenever I speak, I don't want Noah to respond within 4 messages. Very good topic. Hey, Smitty, pick 2, Higgins, Ayuk, or Kupp. This is a tough one. I think Kupp and Ayuk are probably safest because there's debate of Boyd versus Higgins and, you know, people talking, I think, madness right now about Chase not picking up things quickly like he's learning. But there are 3 options, and then you got Joe Burrow potentially struggling, which I don't know that I don't dismiss it because you're hearing a lot of it. So maybe we start reacting to it. That Burrow could struggle initially. ACL tears are complicated. More of a reason why I'm worried about Barkley at the running back position. I know AD did it. All day. AP. AD. All day. Adrian Peterson. I get it. And I wanted to root for Barkley too. But these ACL injuries sometimes take more time than people realize because it is a major, major injury. That yes, players can recover from. They can. They can recover very well. When you tear an ACL in college, completely different story. You can come back 100%. In the NFL, and Barkley's right on that line, the recovery is a little different. So back to my point, is that ACLs, you know, Joe Burrow, would it shock me if he struggled in the beginning? No. And the more I hear, the more I get a little concerned. That makes me think Higgins, circling back, procrastination by me. Procrastinating in the court. Procrastination by me. It makes me feel like it's safer to go Kupp. It's safer to go Ayuk. But all 3 of them are very, very close. Nate, you drove the price of Josh Allen. I can't afford him no more. Makes me sad. 2 or 3 late guys you like. I'm sorry, Nate. I think I did ruin Josh Allen's value, but I can only help those that hear me early. And Josh Allen is going to win leagues for people, even in round 3 though. The late round 3, like you're talking about. Okay, let's break it down. Josh Allen. Of course, am I asking you to take Josh Allen over an idea of taking Herbert or Kyler later when you can grab someone amazing in round 3? No, I mean, of course, I'd rather. So if here's round 3, here's round 4. If you can get yourself a CeeDee Lamb somehow still here, which, you know, he's still floating in the 3rd round. But if you can get Lamb here, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire falls, or J.K. Dobbins falls, I take every single one of these guys, obviously, over Josh Allen. And then I resort to plan B, which is down in round 5. Down in round 5, I take Kyler Murray or Herbert. So Herbs or Kyler in round 5 is the backup plan for the person that says no to Josh Allen because J.K., Lamb, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, or a few other names are there. But if these guys are all gone and you're contemplating other names that don't excite you, like those names, and you got to kind of decide that for yourself, like Josh Allen can still win you a league at the end of round 3. I don't care how deep the quarterback pool is. Yes, I like Kyler. Yes, I like Herbie. These guys are win a league potential guys for this value, but that doesn't change the fact that I want prime rib instead of a flat steak. Flat steak is still good, or let's call this a sirloin. I like sirloin. Sirloin's fantastic. Sirloin's winning. Eating sirloin is winning. but prime rib is still better, and you can't make decisions off, oh, I still like sirloin, no, when you can have prime rib. It's different. It hits different. This guy can drop 45 to 50 TDs. He's a league winner. He's still a league winner in round 3. The only caveat is that don't pass on guys like Lamb and JK and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, because those guys paired with a Herbs and Kyler are better than Josh Allen paired with the player here. But if you're talking about like an Allen Robinson or something, no, Allen is better. You can get a wide receiver here that can compete with Allen Robinson's production better than you're going to get a quarterback, even these guys, to compete with Josh Allen's 45 to 50 TD passes in 2021. Case adjourned. Sorry if I'm missing some of these questions. Keep loading them in. I'm doing my best. The court is doing the best they can. AB or Gallup? AB. I'm going to go through these fast. Hey, Smitty, Jerry Jeudy is ranked 97 on Yahoo and has an ADP of 100 plus. Where do we take him? If you can get away with 80 to 90 range, go for it, bro. Like, everything's about the pre-rank list, okay? So, Aaron, think about it for a second, okay? You're in a draft, and on the pre-rank list, you have Jerry Jeudy, a scroll down, and he's showing up because Yahoo doesn't know how to rank him. Yahoo's not, they don't know what time it is. It's Jerry Jeudy time. And you literally see 10 wide receivers and you got to scroll to even get to Jerry Jeudy. You're probably safe going another round. Okay, but once Jeudy pops up in vision before you even scroll or whatever, he's going to go. People are very fickle. They will draft who the Yahoo rank pre-rank tells them to draft, especially when you get down that late in round 7 or 8. The pre-rank list will guide everybody. They don't know what they're doing. Bill from accounting sitting there going, I don't know who to take. I'm going to go with whoever's ranked highest on Yahoo's pre-rank list. And then you lose Jeudy because you got cute and you thought he could sit there when he was the 4th ranked wide receiver left. No. Use the pre-rank list as your guide, even over what I'm saying, because your league might undervalue Jeudy and you take him in round 7 and you didn't need to take him till round 9. Court adjourned. Aaron, appreciate you. Hey, Smitty, Kamara or Elliott? I'm torn on this one, to be honest. You're going to be like, what? You're actually considering Elliott number 2? I'm not taking Elliott number 2, but I think he could be that good. So I like Elliott at 3. I like him at 3. I'm cuffing him to Tony Pollard. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going with my gut. I'm going with the gut inside this man right here is telling you. It's telling you that with Pollard, with this offense, with the way they're going to move the football and score the football and get into the red zone, they're going to be a fun, electric offense to watch. I don't care if their defense is struggling. Let's go to Instagram. Is anybody hitting the follow button? Yeah, Fletch is. Fletch04, I appreciate you, bro. And I said peace of mind earlier. And we've got Clutch and Lucas. If you follow me on IG right now at the Fantasy Football Show, I'm shouting you out. We're trying to get to 10K. Get there. Get there. We need 119 more people and we're at 10K on IG. So go to the Fantasy Football Show on Instagram. Punch it. Follow Smitty, says Media. Media is the man. Media is the man. Media, I might have you jump on the last 5 minutes if that's cool. We'll talk about Trey Lance and how he's going to be a top, 6 quarterback per start maybe? Trey Lance could be that good. Kamara, Ethan, he hasn't failed anybody. 4 straight years. He's only played 4 years. 4 straight years over 81 receptions. What more does the man have to prove? And MT going down, you can look at that as a good or a bad thing. There's arguments for both. The defenses will focus on him. But if Taysom Hill's in there, if Winston isn't successful moving the football, they'll put Taysom Hill in. And as much as people want to think Taysom Hill's bad for Kamara, he didn't know the playbook fully. He didn't know the plays that were specifically designed to get Kamara the football. He had to makeshift his way through 2020, and he did pretty well. He commanded it pretty well. He commanded that ship pretty well. And I think there's a really good opportunity for Kamara with Taysom Hill in there to see less defensive attention because people are shadowing where Taysom Hill is. He commands a whole lot more defensive respect than Winston, believe it or not, without Mike Thomas. Now, if Mike Thomas came back, then maybe Winston is in his wheelhouse. Who knows? But they have 2 quarterback options, which is good, because if one doesn't work out, they'll turn to the other. They have 2 opportunities to get the quarterback position right, and they can react quickly. So if anything, the two quarterback dilemma they've got there in New Orleans is a good thing for Kamara and the longevity of Kamara's value all year. Give me Elliott and Pollard as number 3 overall. Give me Kamara as the number 2 overall. Top 6 QB in Lance. Wow. Per start, he could be there. I would say 6 to 8. I would say per start, Trey Lance could score 6 to 8 quarterback production. That is not to say he's going to finish anywhere near there at the end of the year, because maybe he doesn't start week 1. I believe he should start week 1. I could be wrong, because guess what? I don't make the call. But the correct call is to get Trey Lance in there, because he makes that offense more explosive and different. And it's great. And it's amazing. What's up, Smitty? Thank you for the super chat, Adam. If you've got a question, hit me with it. Coach Smitty, will Big Ben get benched? And how do we feel about the Steelers wide receiver in the 7th, 8th round? Steelers wide receivers. I like Claypool way more than I like Juju Smith-Schuster. Let me rephrase that. I love Jerry Jeudy. That was blasphemy. Let me take a lap on that one.
Take a lap. Take a lap.
I'm sorry, Jerry Jeudy.
Take a lap.
I like Claypool more than I like Juju. I like Claypool more than I like Deontay. I worry about Big Ben, but I feel like if Big Ben can make it through the year, even if his arm falls apart along the way, Claypool is the alpha dog. Claypool can go up and get an errant pass, a jump ball pass. Claypool will probably be the guy that Big Ben turns to the most. I just don't know that Big Ben can pepper these other guys with the amount of targets they need. Okay, so 8th round Claypool, sure. 7th round, I don't know. I'd have to see who's on the board. You know what I mean? And yeah, Big Ben won't be benched. He'll fall apart. He won't be benched. Gibby, Ridley, or Mixon round 3. Oh, God. Okay, first of all, Ryan, how on earth do you... Ryan! How do you expect to get Gibson and Ridley in round 3, bro? You're upsetting the court. There's no way Gibby and Ridley fall to round 3 unless you're in like a really tiny league, bro. Maybe 8-man league? If so, then okay. Let me just give you my ranking, if that helps. Gibby and Ridley are pretty darn close. I would say they're very close to even. Ridley could be the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy football. I don't know how many of you feel about that, but that's how I feel. And let me move this over here. Ridley could be the number 1 wide receiver. He really could be. But I'm going to go ahead and say Gibby. Then I'm going to rank Ridley. And then I'm going to put space, then Mixon. So Gibby, Ridley, really close. Space, dot, then mix it, bro. Then Mixon. Oh, here we go. I'll put that right there. Ridley's red zone work is already a proven commodity. Crazy world, you're in contempt of being correct. Which round would you go Monty over Josh Allen? Yeah, I would go Josh Allen over Monty if my running backs were on point. If my running backs weren't on point, if I had yet to draft a running back, let's say I went wide receiver Waller or something, and then Allen sitting there at 4 point whatever, I would probably contemplate Monty in that situation, but I don't know that I'd like it. I feel like I put myself in a box and I'm passing on a talented number 1 overall scoring option in Josh Allen. Smitty, take a lap. He didn't say, hey, Smitty. That's true. Hey, Smitty, or Your Honor. Your Honor works as well. Is Jacobs worth a 2022 first rounder? Absolutely not, bro. If you can get a first rounder for Jacobs, if that's what you're asking, trade him away immediately and get a first rounder. Jacobs is a disaster. a disaster, bro. What third-year wide receiver is going to blow up? Broski, that is a very good question. I would say a lot of them. A lot of them, broski. A lot of them. I mean, they've already blown up. Like, I don't know that that's even... They've already blown up. That wide receiver class and last year's is so good, bro. Third year, second year, and this rookie class. And even if you mix in a guy like in St. Brown, and you look at St. Brown, you look at Elijah Moore, and then you pair in Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith, we're going to get one of Elijah Moore or St. Brown or somebody like that. I think it probably those two are the most likely. Will creep up and be like in the conversation of some of the best wide receiver talent we've got in the entire 3-year period, you know, like not saying they'll be number one, but we will have somebody. It'll probably, I kind of feel like it's going to be Elijah Moore that's going to creep up and be that guy that like, crap, we thought it was Devontae Smith and Chase, and it will be, but we thought it was them by themselves. No, Elijah Moore says no. Elijah Moore in his locker room has a freaking like mirror that he put the names of all the wide receivers that were drafted ahead of him on this mirror. The dude is a dog. The dude is out for blood. This man wants to be the best wide receiver in this draft class, Elijah Moore, the New York Jet. The guy pulling in footballs from the guy we call Zachary Boy Wilson. Zach is going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. Potential top 6 to 7 quarterback in the NFL. I really, really like him, and it's tough to say, man. These wide receivers are just developing so fast. I don't know that you're going to have anybody completely, you know, catching anybody off guard. But like, example, sophomore, CeeDee Lamb's going to explode as his second year. DK Metcalf already exploded before his third year. You know, I don't know. These sophomores and juniors are already there. They're already there, bro. But I love the question, Adam. I love the super chat. I love the respect for the court. And we appreciate here at the Fantasy Football Show. Chat, hey Smitty, is there a printable ADP list for Underdog, or do you have to use the one from? I'll tell you what, Gary. I'm looking at you, bro. I'm gonna make one for you tonight. I want you to email me by tomorrow, Gary, if I don't do it, or DM me on Instagram if you don't see it within 48 hours. Within 48 hours, I will have the Underdog ADP on my ADP so you can sort it. I have an ADP that's the best ADP in the industry, and I haven't updated it in a couple weeks, so I need to update it now. But what it does is it will constitute multiple ADPs, and then I average in, I think, the 3 worst ADP datas because they're important to use because people are actually drafting these bad players in bad locations. But I'll have the 3 most unreliable ADPs in my mind in the industry averaged as 1. So all 3 together divided by 3 makes it 1 pretty consistent ADP data. Then I'll have underdogs, and I'll have 2 of the other most respected ADPs, all averaged into 1, but sortable per column. So if you want to sort by just underdog, boom, underdog's ADP, or all of it, all like 6 options, boom. I'm gonna have that updated for you, Gary. It'll be ready, Gary. I appreciate the super chat. Crazy world. People are forgetting Monty started the season injured, but once he got going, he was one of the top running backs in fantasy. He's still undervalued right now, says Crazy World. True, he was facing the easiest schedule known to man. He didn't have much competition, but who cares? He still proved it. He still was a man on a mission. He's got a chip on his shoulder like no running back I've seen in a while, and he's going to be vocal. He's now got a voice. He's now vocal. His chip is big. It's on his shoulder, and this man wants to be the best running back in the league. Whether you believe he will be or not, he wants to be. And so if you believe in Monty, I think you're going to have a really good, fun time watching this guy in 2021. Prove people wrong. Prove people that he is a top 10 running back. I don't know how bold I'm going to get on him because I worry about the transition at quarterback for the Bears when it happens. Why they're going with Dalton. Very bad decision making there in my part, in my view, on their part. I think they should start Fields right away. I don't think Fields is going to be as good as Lance. I don't think he's going to be as good as Wilson or Trevor Lawrence, but he still could be a legitimate, solid quarterback, like better than Tua, but not anywhere near top 5 for fantasy. But a good enough effective quarterback for the Bears, the best they've had in a while, to at least move the football down the field. Now, could he get better and better in my eyes? Will I heed the road to this man eventually if he tears it up? Yes, I'll give the respect when the respect is earned by Fields, and I hope he proves me wrong and is as good as all these other rookie quarterbacks. I don't think he will be, but if he proves it, I'll be the first one to say, good job, young man. But that said, Monty is a good value. Monty is going in the top of the 4, maybe late 3rd round. He was the number 4 running back in fantasy football in 2020. The number 4 running back, number 4. And yet he's going in the mid-3rd round to early 4th round. That bakes in any risk that anybody has tied to him. Like, oh, Smitty, he had the easiest schedule. Oh, Smitty, now, they have Damian Williams. Oh, Smitty, Cohen's coming back. Cohen's not coming back yet. Cohen's not even close to healthy. Herbert, the rookie running back's more of a threat than Cohen. But they have those threats there. And so, for that reason, he does need a little bit of caution packaged into his ADP, and it is. Good show tonight, Smitty. Thank you, Evan. Media, I'm going to send you a link in a minute. All rise, Aaron Jones or Tyreek Hill in PPR, wanting to pair Gibson up with one of them. I like going balanced when all things are equal, and I like Hill a tiny bit more anyway, so give me Tyreek Hill and Gibby, and walk out of round 1 and 2 with a very balanced approach, and I like it. Hey, Smitty, rank these: Gibby, Najee, Clyde. How does... Alexa, show me the front door. In my courtroom, we have someone disturbing my domicile. It's a bird. I need to adjust the sensitivity level. Give me Gibby. And I'm gonna change tunes a little here. I've had Najee. Gibby, Clyde, Najee. That's my order, although I might draft Clyde as late as I can, if you know what I mean. Exaltedness. Have you ever played in a guillotine league? Do you like that format? I played in one once. The problem is I like playing in a lot of leagues that I'm used to and can provide content for. Not a lot of people are playing in guillotine league, so oftentimes I don't play in those because I want to show people my draft, and I live stream a lot of my drafts, so I tend to not do that. As it gets more popular, and it seems to be, you might see me do more of those styles, but I also try and do leagues that require very little work and maintenance and upkeep, because I do like 20-30 leagues, and I can't keep up with a bunch of the BS, man. I'm live literally the whole 2 hours the night before, Saturday nights. I can't wait for Saturday nights. You guys know what happens here on the show on Saturday nights. I can't wait for Saturday nights here on the show. I'm excited. Our Saturday nights get live and amped. We got 104 of you in here. Hit the thumbs up, please. I can't wait for Saturday nights. But what was I even saying? I'm so out of it. So I don't know. Whatever. I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done with that topic. Okay, we're gonna send media a link here in a second. Hey, Smitty, what do you think of DJ Moore? Meh. I like him, but I'm not like expecting more than wide receiver 3 production until he proves it. Okay, situation constantly changing there. We'll see what his quarterback play is like, and then go from there. Dynasty, do you prefer Swift or Pitts? Come on, bro. Come on, Fletcher.
Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap.
I will not have Alexa off. I will not have blasphemy like this in my courtroom. Swift is not even in my 4th round. Kyle Pitts in Dynasty. No doubt about it. I appreciate your question, though, bro. You're still a broski. Don't worry. Smitty, just FYI, his name is pronounced Najee Harris, not Najee Harris. Najee Harris. Well, I hear it a bunch of different ways, but Najee. I'll work on it. I'm sorry. How dare you come in my court and tell me how to talk? How dare you? What the hell was that question? Which one? Hey, Smitty, where does Henderson finish? Top what? Oh, I'd probably say, bro. Probably, I would say don't expect anything more than a top. I wouldn't expect anything more than a high-end or mid-range running back, too. But, man, he has the potential. Hey, Smitty, you need one of those white wigs for the court section. Yeah, I thought about it. Actually, I put one on one time during an Instagram court. Okay. Let's get media in here real quick and talk about... You have literally 4 minutes, media, to make your case as to why I am correct. Adam with the super chat while we wait for media to join. Will more teams plan for Henry like my Ravens did? I'm not big on Henry this year, man. I feel like people are going to get let down. Kyle Grossman, I appreciate the follow, buddy. Fletch, Spencer, I think I got the rest of you already. Follow me on Instagram. I'm shouting you out throughout the show. I see you, bro. I see you. And I do need to get the ticker up on the Door League. I apologize, that is not up yet. But if you guys noticed at the beginning of the show, the Door League dates are I'll post those again in a little bit. But we're going to have, I believe, the Door League dates. We said, let's see. August 21st would be the draft date for Door League. I believe that's going to be the draft date for Door League 1. August 21st. We could move it to the 28th, but August 21st. And then Door League... Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. And then September 4th, I believe, will probably be the draft day for Door League 2. So I'll keep you posted on that. Sorry, media. Here comes the link. All right, media. Bring it strong. But Adam, appreciate the super chat, and I do think that teams will be more prepared to try and plan for him. But with Julio Jones, that could keep defenses honest. But I think that the workload is going to really be the crutch. Going to be the crutch, broski. What is up, young man?
What's up?
Okay.
How we doing?
We're doing good. For those that don't know who this man is, this is 49er Media on IG. Go give him a follow. And I want to ask you one question, Media.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe with your you're currently expanding your fantasy football knowledge. You are a 49er page, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is your estimation, your guesstimation, your prediction for Trey Lance fantasy football production-wise if he's in the lineup scoring points as the starter for the Niners? Is he a top 6 quarterback in fantasy? Top 6 to 10? Do you think bolder than that? The way I calculated it, and it was crazy. I almost feel like it can't be right. It can't be right, but they are minimal numbers. Like if he scores, let's say 220, if he throws 220 passing yards per game, so this is Lance per start.
Mm-hmm.
Lance per start, 220 passing yards per game, 1.5 passing TDs per game, 45 rushing yards per game. Well, let's put it at 40 rushing yards per game, and 10 TDs on 17 games would be 0.5 let's call it 0.5 rushing TDs.
Okay.
Like that's not the craziest stat line, right?
No.
I mean he could do that in this offense. So 220 passing yards. So 220 passing yards times 17 is 37. That's crazy. 3740. And that's per start. I'm not saying he's going to have this on the year.
Yeah.
This is per start. 1.5 TDs times 17 would be 25. So we'll call this 25 passing TDs. This is his pace. Again, it would be per start. 40 rushing yards per game would be times 17. Again, we're adding a game, so a lot of people's numbers are going to look crazier. So 680 pace. And then rushing TDs, 0.5. We already calculated that's 10. So 10 rushing TDs, 680 rushing yards, 25 passing TDs. Let's knock this number all the way down to just 3,300 yards. Like we're taking away hundreds of yards. So 3,300 yards is divided by 17 is 9. No, that's not right. 3,300 yards divided by 17 games is 194. So let's just say this is 194. That's a low number, 194 passing yards per game. This comes out to being, divide that by, times 0.25. Let's see. 3,300 divided by 25, let's say. So 132 points, 132. 25 times 6 is 100, or no, 25 times 4 points per TD pass. 4 times 25 is 100 points. 680 yards, so that's 68 points, and 10 TDs. That's so yeah. Do you think 10 TDs is good on the ground? On the ground, is that a safe estimate?
Well, I know we talked about this on Friday, and I said I feel like that's a little too much. I feel like 7 maybe.
Okay, well I'm gonna overrule
7 to 8, so I would probably down a little more.
I'm gonna overrule you and just put 10. Okay, so 10. That's 60. So let's add this up. I mean, this is crazy. This is not crazy math, like one category at a time, but 60. So 60 plus 68. Hold on. 60 plus 68 plus 100 plus 132. That's 360 fantasy points divided by 17. That is 21.1 fantasy points per game. And what did I say it was? 17. 360 points on the year. That's crazy. That's like, I don't even know what that would score. That would be insane. That'd be insane. And that's not even that, those numbers aren't that bold. Like that's not 194 passing yards a game. 1.5 passing TDs is not that crazy. That's only 25 on the year. 40 rushing yards. 0.5, not a TD per game. That is insane. That running production makes him so much more valuable, than people I think are expecting. But talk about it. I'm sorry, I haven't even let you speak yet.
So what did you want me to exactly just
know.
give you my thoughts about?
Just
Trey
tell me I'm
Lance?
right. Just tell me I'm right. That's all I'm asking. Is he gonna? Go ahead.
Well, the thing is, I know this is a hypothetical situation, 17 and games, and the thing is that's impossible for me to predict just because Jimmy G is going to be the starter. Trey Lance is probably going to come into packages because Shanahan did say he will play this year. And so, but I think if he does start, those numbers aren't crazy. Like I said before, though, I think the rushing touchdowns maybe a little less, but
why do you think that though? I feel like out of all the numbers that I predicted right here, I feel like Trey Lance running for 10 TDs. Let me rewrite this.
Well, I think the reason I think that is just because maybe it will take him a little bit of time to, get acclimated, and 10 touchdowns could happen. I could see it. It's not the end of the world, but
so I don't think
because we also run the ball a lot. So.
Yeah, but he's an escape artist, and I feel like he's gonna put himself in a position. Like here's the thing: he'll put himself in a position to score a majority of those. It won't be a design play necessarily. He will escape, and he's done that in college. He had 28 passing touchdowns and 0 INTs in 2019 or whatever. Was it 2019? And then he had how many rushing touchdowns in college? 11, was it? I think it was 11. He is an escape artist and a very good decision maker when he's deciding to pick it up and run. You have more interceptions if you make a bad.
But the thing is, I
Pick up and
could
run.
see that happen less though, because the thing is, I hate to bring up competition, but we all know like he wasn't facing these high like these big schools like Alabama and stuff. So like he will have, as any rookie, ups and downs, and
Yeah.
I just think it'll take him some
I
adjustment.
hear what you're saying there. You make a valid point, although he is facing one of the better defenses in practice. Yeah, sometimes not always
Yeah.
the ones, but he is already getting accustomed to good defensive schemes and NFL schemes. And those players are saying he's insanely, like, they've never seen a quarterback like him. So and I'm not saying you're saying this, media. We hear it a lot. People come at us and say, hey, you guys are Trey Lance fans. Wait till he sees good competition. No one's really saying it now. Everybody's on the teat right now, the Niner teat, because the Niners and Trey are getting so much love right now. But everybody is so quick to talk about his competition in college. Everyone's saying he's one of the most gifted quarterbacks they've ever seen. Multiple people are saying this. And I feel like if there's anybody that's going to just walk right in, and especially when you hold his hand with one of the better setup situations that a rookie quarterback could face. Like, he literally has the best situation. We've never seen a quarterback like Lance, with the amount of talent he has, walk into, some say Andrew Luck maybe, but walk into the situation he's walking into. Like, this is like,
Yeah, because I mean, usually if you have a top 5 pick, you're one of the lower end teams, and
Right.
there's pieces you need to add.
and usually you're not a good team and have no quarterback. Like, you already have that position. So
yeah, we're
it's
kind of like the
rare.
Chiefs when they did with Mahomes, but also different in some
Right.
ways.
So
because like we have a quarterback, it's just not good enough, doesn't stay healthy, and so
10 TDs to me is a very easy stat line for him to get on the ground. I think that he will be, there'll be design plays where Trey Lance gets maybe 4 to 5 TDs designed at Shanahan's discretion, and then he'll score another 4 to 5 minimum on his own, like just scrambling and finding the end zone and be like, whoa, that worked out. Like, he is that kind of escape artist. So Trey Lance, to me, to the moon. One of my favorite quarterbacks to grab in any format, but in Dynasty, you're not going to get him like at a steal. So mainly we talk about redraft, but in redraft, he's a fantastic quarterback to grab later, because you might have trade potential for either him or the quarterback you take. Let's say you take Kyler Murray and you get Trey Lance later. You might be like, I'm going to trade Kyler Murray. Injuries happen, and I'm going to keep Trey Lance, and then you upgrade and get like a Travis Kelce for your quarterback straight up, because you got Trey Lance to plug in. So he's one of the coolest draft selections, I think, at the quarterback spot in a redraft format. All right, media.
all right.
Go follow my boy Media, 49er Media on IG, and to give him
Get
some
this guy to 10K.
Yeah.
Come on.
Let's see if we got anybody else real quick that follow before I end the show here. I'm shouting out all my IG people. Colin, Alan, Kyle. I think I already said Kyle. Attaboy. Land. Thank you, Land. And then we're back to the guys that already followed. I appreciate all of you. We're at 9881 media. 9881. I need about 119, right?
Yup. About.
All right. Thanks, media.
All right. Thank you.
Later. All right, everybody. That does it. That's the show. We are out of here. Terry, appreciate you. Master Yoda, Hazelnut, Joel, Matt, Daniel, Cat Fan, Jizzy, Shades, Daniel, Welton. Welton says, hey, Smitty, I subscribed to your email service. I'm wondering if it's working. I emailed you. Welton, I haven't seen it, Mo. Bro, you may have went in bulk or something. Can you message me right now? Send me an email right now. Or DM me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. And DM me. I'll take care of that right now. Well, I don't know what the heck's going on, bro. You might have went to like bulk mail or something. But if you guys want my text service, I carry this phone around with me constantly. And I'm texting you all. HeySmitty.com. Go order your one-on-one text advice. And Welton, we're going to figure this out, bro. We'll get you going right away. Smooth Criminal, Todd, Welton, Daniel, Wonk, Colin, Gary. Gary, message me about the ADP if you don't see it up within 48 hours. Hod, appreciate you. Media for coming on. Bender, Rip, Allen. Allen says I traded away 1.7 for the 2.10, 3.1, 4.10. I love it, bro. I love it. You got the 210 and the 3.1. Atta baby. I hope you didn't give anything great back, though. But that's how you do it. Guys, you want to know how to win your league in 2021? You trade away your first rounder. You trade away that complicated 1.6, 1.5, 1.8 pick, and you get a second and a third rounder, especially when they're tight together. You're talking about that third rounder, bringing that third rounder up, getting a 3.1, a 3.2, or a 3.3, because the cutoff is quick. That cutoff happens around 3.4, 3.5, where the talent changes really quickly. And this man just did what I've been recommending people do, trading away a first rounder instead of taking a Barkley, or even in my case, I like Adams and Hill and Diggs there. Trade away that player for a 2.10 and get the same kind of potential wide receiver. You're getting an A.J. Brown or a Ridley or a Justin Jefferson, who people are going to let fall to 2.10 for a little bit of time. You can get a J.K. Dobbins, maybe a Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Maybe you get somebody like that at your 2.10 who can compete with your 1.7 pick if you were to compare them. And then you get an additional 3.1. And he got more. That's how you win a league. And Colin, I thank you, Colin. Thank you, James. Followed on Graham. Let me see, James. Let me confirm. Let's confirm and give James a proper shout out. Not that I believe you, James. I'm shouting you out early. James! He did! Colin followed. James followed. Alan followed. Look at you. We're almost there. More shots at league winners, plain and simple. Attaboy. All right. Please check your DM. I will, media. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate you. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. And as always, once the video posts, guess what? There's no comments. You can follow the live chat that we've had the entire time. But all the comments are zeroed out. And I come in and respond to every single early comment the first day or two. So if you have a question and I missed your fantasy football court question, whatever, go to the chat or go to the comment section of this video as soon as I hit publish and ask me a question later. Later, Tex, Smither, Rank, Gibber, Joseph, Mixon, or Najee. Give me Gibson, then Najee, and then a big space, and then another ... and then Mixon, bro. All right, later. I'm not on Corey Davis.